Okay.
Welcome to another episode of
Run your mother. Okay. Another week, another episode, man.
How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you, bro?
Good, man.
Okay.
A wise man once said, even the strongest bridges collapse. When they carry weight, they were never built to hold. So check what you're carrying and who it's really for. Food for thought.
Listen up, boy.
Yes, sir.
Whew.
So.
Been a tiring week,
Not too bad lah for me. My week just started yesterday.
No wonder.
I
Yeah.
always have a long weekend. And the long weekend just ended. But I was
Yeah.
working through the long weekend lah, so.
Another
Give and
one's
take.
coming up,
Oh, really? Labor Day.
Labor Day.
When is Vesak Day?
I don't know.
Ah.
Why would I know? You also don't know.
That's true.
When it happens, it happens.
That's true.
Hey, voting day also coming up.
I don't really care.
Who you voting for?
I don't know. I want the funny uncles. Later you check.
Yeah. I
you
saw.
Damn.
Hey.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Maybe one day we can run also.
One day.
One day.
One day you may.
Run your mouth. Hey.
Anyway.
So what are we talking about today, my friend?
Today, we're talking about stress and how to cope with stress.
Oi.
In life, I've always...
Wait,
Another week of me adjusting my mic.
Yeah. I don't know why. He choose to adjust it like 5 minutes in. He doesn't adjust it earlier.
Because he asked me to go down to
Yeah.
to pick him up, ma.
Of course.
Anyways,
Okay.
yes, where were we?
Stress.
Stress and how to cope with stress.
Yes. Are you a
Yes.
stressful person?
Actually, quite.
Quite.
I realized in my life, there's a few constant things. And stress is always one of them. Either stress when I was studying for exams, stressing out for homework, stressing out for school. I always have this thing when I was younger, right? Where I couldn't leave the house if I don't shit.
Oh.
Like I can't shit outside.
It's
Like whether be it in school or any malls, right? I only shit outside when I really need to.
Same.
And I always stress.
I had that issue until I went to army. Then bo pian already.
Ah, yes.
Wow, the first 2 weeks of confinement at Tekong, right? That the hardest part for me was not the army life. The hardest part for me was the taking a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have bidets.
Exactly.
I can't use the toilet without
Bro.
bidets.
The bidet was one thing. The cleanliness of the toilet was another thing.
Okay, mine was quite clean.
It was just madness. For me, I was like, wow. It was-
Hey, do you follow this creator on TikTok called Toilets with Bidets SG?
No.
She's a lifesaver, man. I swear.
So she tells you all the toilets with bidets.
Yeah, so they have this map where you can pinpoint where are the bidets near your location.
Hui.
Toilets with bidets. Shout out.
Shout out indeed.
Mad.
Bro.
That is mad. Bro. Anyways. So yeah, stress is a very common thing in our lives.
It is.
Maybe it's the culture, maybe it's the times that we are in now. But bottom line is everyone's dealing with it and nobody's really talking about it with honesty and honor and humor. Sorry, honor,
Honor, bro.
Anyways,
Fight with honor.
so what do you think causes to you? What causes your stress?
What causes my stress?
What are the causes of your stresses?
For me, majority of my stress stems from fear.
Huh.
Yeah.
Fear of what?
Fear of whether I'm not doing enough or I can do better. Yeah. So it's that
That's true.
constant fear always in my head, right? Like, oh, is there something that I can be doing better in my life? It could be in everything I do, right? Could I be,
Pool potting?
yeah. Could I be eating better? Could I be
Yes.
working out better? Could I be fixing my sleep pattern? A lot of shit, everything. And
That's true.
also, now that we are all working adults, right? We have that crippling fear of not doing enough for our future. Yeah. So there are times where even if I'm unwinding with my family or with my friends or with my loved ones, then at the back of my head, it will be like, oh shit, am I doing enough?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Or am I in a good spot? Or am I in the median spot where people my age should be? Or most of the people my age should be? You know? Yeah. That's the majority of my stress. The rest of the stuff, things that I can fully control, no stress, man. You know? Easy life. Yeah. What about you, man?
What stresses me out is the fear of not completing what I should be or accomplishing what I can before I die. Like, there's so many goals in life. We talked about goals last week.
Yeah.
There's so many things in life we want to achieve, and what if I don't make it in time?
Damn.
Yeah. One of my main fears.
Well, but that kind of fear is something you cannot really rectify.
Which is scarier because you can't control.
Yeah, it's something you cannot control at all, right? Because you're like, even if you shorten your goal, what if you die tomorrow? Right? Or even if you feel like you are in a good track, what if you die tomorrow?
Yeah.
So you will never be satisfied unless you actually accomplish a goal like right now.
Yeah. No.
Which is kind of hard lah.
Getting there?
Yeah, getting there, yeah. You and I know lah. Yeah.
But yeah, not finishing what I set out to do before I run out of time. And also, like, what if I don't hit my goals this year? Or just this month?
Right.
Because the first quarter just ended, and I wouldn't say I'm very far from my goals, but some things have made me make poorer decisions such that it is delaying the accomplishment of my goals. And also, some things may seem as a good thing, like having more work to do, but that takes time out of certain things that I also want to accomplish.
Right.
Yeah. So life has its way of somehow telling you that, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. And sometimes only when I reflect back, then I'm like, okay, now I understand that, okay, I'm supposed to do this, instead of what I planned for. Yeah.
So when you get stressed out, right, what do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
I play games.
Nintendo Switch.
Play the Switch. I play Brawl Stars.
Wait. No wonder if you see his Brawl Stars level, it's quite insane. So
okay,
no wonder he's always stressed.
That's one of the things that's always improving.
Yeah, confirm. That's
Sadly.
one of his goals. One of his goals.
But it's fun lah.
Of course.
It's fun to de-stress. I read. Haven't read for a while, and for a while means a few days.
Of course.
But, yeah, almost done with the book, and I'm looking to get a new one soon, hopefully by the start of next month.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nerd.
It's fun, man. It really is. And sometimes I watch movies, spend time with the loved ones. Of course, those are the best stress relievers.
De-stresses.
Yeah, because it makes you not be at your workspace.
Yeah, true lah.
They make you go out, do stuff, just exist, and not just exist, but just live instead of doing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I do. What about you?
Wow. For me,
Look for discounts.
almost the same lah, actually. Spend time with my loved ones. I like to ride my bike. So when I stress, I ride my bike somewhere.
Nice.
Anyway, that's about it actually. I'm a very simple guy. If I stress, I go to sleep. Yeah. I rarely find time to play games once in a while. I play games
on the way back from podcast.
Yes, on the way back from podcast usually. So it's that little free gap, that little fair value gap. Then the little fair value gap, that's when I play my games. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I feel like de-stresses are really needed.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you are cooped up in your stress all the time, like what Jen said earlier, is when you will make poor decisions.
Yeah.
And it will just eat you up mentally, right? And eventually emotionally and physically as well. Right? So you need to take your headspace out of that area that stresses you out. Even if it's for like 5-10 minutes. Just to give you a little refresher. So you can come back to that stress. Eventually you have to come back to that stress again. But sometimes you can come back to that stress with more energy.
Yeah.
Or even a new set of eyes to see it in a different way.
Yeah.
And then get back at it again.
That's true.
Yeah.
A fresher mind.
That's what you need, boy.
So generally, what are the top stresses you think? For me, is financial security. The hustle culture.
The hustle culture, wow.
Online comparison is one of the top few. And of course, global uncertainties.
Trump.
And what's going on outside of our comfortable little red dot.
Trump.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about you?
Actually, it's the same few. I would definitely rank finances as the first.
Yeah.
Right? Simply because, not just for me personally, I can speak for a lot of people, our ages, older, younger, maybe not so. If your parents still giving you pocket money, just go and skip this
Just
episode.
use lah.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Just use.
Use while you can.
Yes.
Because always remember,
buy that account.
They are the ones who chose to have you. And don't feel bad.
That could be a whole other episode, by the way.
Yes. We should bring young parents in and older parents in.
Naomi.
Anyways, let's move on.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Stresses.
Finances. Alright. It's the biggest stress for a lot of us. Because many a times we are not taught how to save. Likewise, we are not taught how to spend.
Yes.
So when you first get your big check, okay, when I say big check, I don't mean a few millions. I mean your big check from your first full-time job or your part-time.
50K.
Yeah, maybe, right? Your first full-time job or your first part-time gig and stuff like that. You do not know what to do with it. The first thing that comes to your mind, and this is speaking from experience, right? The first thing that comes to your mind is, oh shit, what do I want to get? Is it within my budget? And when you say budget, you mean everything that's in your account, right? And that's like not the best way, right? And the stress comes after you spend it.
Yeah.
Then you're like, shit. Okay, let's take me for example, right? I had my first job when I was 15 or 16, right? My first job was in Fish & Co. Yeah, I was a waiter in Fish & Co. Not going to say which outlet, right? I was a waiter in Fish & Co. And then during the holidays, I worked like shit, And when I got my first paycheck, I think it was almost 1,000, right? And at that point, at 15, 16 years old, 1,000 is a lot.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh shit, I want this, I want that, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. You know what's the first thing I did? I went into Cocoa Trees and bought like $50 worth of chocolates. For reals, I didn't know what to do. Right? I went in and I was like, dude, I'm the king, bro. I'll buy what I want, bro. Right? This guy going into a candy shop and just buys $50 worth of
That's
chocolates.
a lot. Actually, not that much lah. Maybe 2 big bags, you're done.
Yeah lah. But still, that's the epitome of
Epitome.
not knowing what to buy.
This is why whoever you're voting for, right, since it's that week, right, they should implement financial literacy in schools.
That's true.
Especially up until secondary school.
Yeah.
How to do taxes. When should you do taxes? How much is CPF contribution? How
everything.
to get a house, how to get a loan, what are the options for loans,
How to
get
save.
a car, how to save.
Yes.
Do you need insurance or not?
And this
Do you
type
need
of
to invest?
this type of life lessons is things that, like you say, they don't teach in school.
Yeah, which
And
is S.
Yeah, and sometimes parents don't tell you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, not all parents teach their kids how to save. Maybe nowadays I hear of more lah, but back in my generation, they don't really tell you like, okay, how much you should be saving,
Yeah.
why you should be saving, and all that stuff, right? Because back then, again, when I was 15, 16 years old, I didn't know about rainy days. The fuck the rainy days, bro, right? And it's just I had to learn things the hard way lah, right? By the time before the end of the month, I blew the 1K already. I went to arcade, play arcade games, buy stupid shit, just spend on food,
Yeah.
even though I was not hungry, and all that stuff. And because I learned it the hard way when I was young, as I grew up, I was like, okay, I gotta stop that shit. If I want to save up for bigger things, I have to save lah, right?
That's true.
Okay, but today is not about money talks. Today is about stress. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
as you can see, money stresses us. out a lot.
exactly, yes. So the stressor comes when you regret something.
Yeah,
So regret plays a big part.
that's true.
Yeah. So preventing that regret is an constant action that you need to take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's online comparison. Because right now, we can
that's mad.
access
Yeah, that's mad.
information on our phone so easily. And then we see people who are our age or even younger achieving more than what we are at now.
And the worst part is sometimes you don't even search for it. It just comes bam on your face. First
Yeah.
thing you do, open TikTok. Oh, 25-year-old millionaire.
Ah,
Then you're like, fuck.
exactly. But, however, I've met so many people who are successful. And all of them tell me it will all work out in the end. As long as you're working it out.
Do you believe it will all work out in the end?
I think so.
I believe it will only work out if you choose to work out.
Yeah, that's true. That's why the prerequisite is it will all work out in the end only if you start working it out now.
That's true.
Yeah, but of course, don't expect things to work out when you're not doing something about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, online comparison, I think, is the worst.
Yeah.
Because it can just come and it just robs you of your happiness and your content and your satisfaction
Yeah.
of how far you've come. Because we only see how far we want to, but we don't see how far we've come and look back 1-2 years back. Where were we?
Yeah, that's true.
And right now is what we actually hoped and dreamed and prayed for 2-3 years back.
Yes.
And now we are living in it and we are not appreciating where we have gone or where we have reached, where we
Yeah.
have come.
And I know a few people who genuinely get really affected by what they see online, right? Let's take it, for example, the females who genuinely get affected by seeing a really beautiful lady out online, and then they just feel like, oh shit, I'm ugly as fuck, you know? Or the guys who go to the gym, for example, and then they see all those buff guys, buff dudes on TikTok and stuff like that, and they just get instantly discouraged, right? And some of them, they get discouraged to the point where they quit what they are doing. That was making them better in the first place.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's sad lah.
Yeah.
But damn.
That's why it's always good to look back, reflect how far you've come, and know that you can go further as long as you keep doing it. It's about consistency
That's true.
and balance. Again.
Ikigai.
Yeah. Anyways, so enough of stress. How do we cope with stress? So for your mental health, let's talk about mental health, physical health, and spiritual health.
Oi.
Mental health first.
Okay, for me, mental health, for me personally, I mean, for some people might be different. For me, is speaking to someone about it.
Yeah.
Definitely helps. It helps tons shit. Okay, that's how much it helps. right? A shit ton. That's the word, not tons shit, but yeah. Like I've been through that phase where I didn't want to talk to anyone about my stress. Not even my parents, not even my family members, not even my loved ones, not even my friends, not even the boys, nobody. And I crashed the fuck out in my bedroom. I just crashed out, you know. It was insane, right?
Crash out.
Yeah, legit, right? And I realized that at that moment after I crashed out, then I was kind of forced to talk to someone about it because they noticed me crashing out, right? The boys or my friends or my loved ones or my family, they eventually notice me crashing out. They're like, yo, what's up, man? What the fuck, right? And then eventually, the moment I talked it out to someone, boom, like 100 times better. It just felt 100 times better, right? And sometimes you don't even need them to give you a suggestion or an input. You just need to voice it out. And while you're voicing it out, you will realize two things. One, it's not as serious as you think it is. Or two, you'll just find the solution while talking it out yourself.
That's true.
Yeah. So for me, the number one stress reliever is definitely to talk it out with someone. I mean, someone you trust lah. Don't go and just talk to some Tom, Dick or Harry, tell them your whole life problem, then they use it against you or some shit. Refer to previous episode. Yeah. Talk to someone, bro.
Yep.
You want, you can call Jen. We'll put his phone number over here after this. Then just call him. Who's calling my phone?
It's okay. I don't have that thing. I don't have the number that shows up. So unless I have your contact, then I'll answer.
Oh yeah. I give you his Telegram.
Hell nah. Anyway,
what about you, bro?
I like journaling.
I thought you only journal your...
Yeah.
Oh.
Other things as well.
Oh, okay.
So I like journaling. Mentally, I feel like letting it out and looking at it visually helps. Because then you realize, yeah, like you said, it's not as serious as you think.
Yes.
It's only as bad as what you can picture in your mind.
Exactly. Wait, so when you say journal it, right, do you literally write it out? Or
write it out.
Do you like type it out?
Right.
Right.
I have an iPad with an Apple Pencil.
Oh, of course. Hey, thanks for the shout out. Well, but they say writing it gives more effect. Yeah, carry on.
So it's not like you're giving it power, but you're just speaking your mind on something not human and then just analyzing it, looking at it at a very logical, a very rational perspective. Then you're like, hey, actually, if someone told me this, what would I do? Then you start thinking of solutions.
Right.
Yeah, I guess it's a very guy thing to do, to think of solutions.
It is, yeah. I mean, that's something we're wired to do lah. But
that's true. Okay, what about physical?
Physical lah. What, easy lah. Right? Something Tarmizi would say, man. Just wake up and go to the fucking gym, bro.
Z, faster, Z! Shout out to our first few guests.
Yeah, bro. Mizi Gates.
A close friend of ours.
Hey.
I used to be his cameraman. And his trainer. No, he used to be my trainer.
No, that's why I got me thinking for a second. Like,
trainee.
What? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But seriously, when I started, when I just started gymming, right, it gave me a huge confidence boost. Right, and it was also a great stress reliever. Yeah. And at the same time, I mean, if you're doing it healthily lah, don't be like Tamizi lah.
BD.
Z. Hey. No lah, but if you're doing it healthily, then it's a good thing for you also lah. You look better.
You feel better.
You feel better, and everything else will be better lah. You know.
Yeah, and I realized of all the days that I felt like shit, but still went to the gym. I felt better when I came out.
Exactly, bro. Sometimes you come out, you feel like, bro, like Thor, bro.
You just feel like you've accomplished something. And that is maintaining your physical health.
Yes. And there was this one time, Jen went to the gym and he did such a good session. He came out, he flipped the bus.
That wasn't me.
That was him. He flipped it, bro.
That was a group of people.
No, that was just him. No, You're referring to another case, but yeah.
Anyway, what about digital detox? Do you think, have you done it? I've not done it.
I have not done it. I feel like digital...
Our work requires us to.
Right?
Yeah.
So I feel a digital detox for some people might just add more stress. Right? Because for many of us, being connected digitally is something that we require.
Yes.
Because it informs us about the news in the world. Informs us about updates that we need, right? And also at the same time, it allows us to stay connected with our family and loved ones lah. Because without digital shit, right? In general, you'll just be a lost sheep, right? Unless you have really no responsibilities lah. You don't need to be looking out for your family, your friends, your boys, your girls. You got no need to be looking out for your job or anything like that. Then yeah, by all means, man, go throw away your phone and go be a hobo in Himalayas or something. But if not, I do not recommend it lah. I feel like it will give you more stress lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never done it. I try to do it when I'm on the way to work. Then
do you at least listen to songs?
I do.
Then that's not digitally detox.
As in like no social media. That is a digital detox.
I don't know, it's just weird lah. Even social media keeps us informed, you know. Right? If it wasn't for social media, we wouldn't have known when was polling day. They haven't announced it in news. News is a kind of social media as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see? So it's like...
But that's my detox. 30, 40 minutes while I'm on the MRT.
Good enough.
I'll be reading.
I think...
Yeah.
Oh, technically I detox when I'm taking a shit.
Oh.
Does that count?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
enough. So you don't use your phone? No, what do you do?
Just shit.
Just sit down there.
Yeah. And shit.
And stare at nothing. Then you start reading labels on the back of your shampoo.
Not really, I just shit. Do you have to... Okay, let's take a slight detour. So when you go and take a shit, right? Are you the kind where you have to sit down and then wait for the shit to happen? Or are you the type where the moment you sit down, it comes out?
Depends. Sometimes it's instant. Most of the time, wait a while.
For me, it's like when I feel like I have to go, then I just go and sit. The moment I sit down, just then just wait for a while more for the residue, and then after that,
wipe and go.
No, wash
and go.
Yeah, wash and go.
Nice.
Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Anyways, I've read this quote somewhere, but I've lost it. It goes something like, if you hate yourself, go and bathe. If you hate people around you, go and sleep. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all in my mind.
So, okay, yeah, fair enough. I mean, I guess that's why I took a lot of baths back then. I don't know. Back then, before army, here's my short bathing routine for you. Wake up in the morning, shower. Even if I'm not going out, wake up, shower, and then I will go and do my own things in the house. And then before I go out, I shower again. Even though I already took a shower in the morning, I shower again, and then I come back. If I come back in the middle of the day or before nighttime, I shower. Right? I shower the moment I come back, even if it's midday or anything like that. And then just before I go to sleep, I shower again.
Nice.
Yeah. And if I'm going out again in between there, I'll shower again before I go out. And then I come back.
Why not shower after you come back?
Yeah, I come back and then I shower again.
Yeah, I don't like going into my bed if I don't shower.
Exactly.
Like, I don't like.
I don't like going out if I don't shower also. It needs to be like a...
Okay, depends what I'm going out for. If I'm going to the gym,
I still shower.
I don't shower first.
Okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Then I shower after the gym.
Yeah.
Then come back. No, as in shower when I come back home.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I found the quote.
Okay, yeah. Give me the quote, boy.
Okay, the quote is... Okay, I was wrong. If you feel like you hate everyone, eat something.
Okay.
If you feel like everyone hates you, go to sleep.
Okay.
If you feel like you hate yourself, have a shower. If you feel like everyone hates everyone, go outside. So food for thought. So if anything like that happens to you, go and do it.
If you realize Jen says a lot of food for thought because he likes food.
I'm a foodie, man.
Yeah, he always thinks of food.
Yeah, that's why I work out. So I won't get too fat.
Too fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The goal is to be
Ikigai.
strong.
Yeah, strong.
Don't get fat and all lah.
Strong zero.
Strong and healthy, Kennedy.
Yes.
Yes.
Strongman vibes.
Anyways,
Yeah. If you all got anything that stresses you out and you all don't know what to do, tell us about it.
yeah. And get enough sleep.
Enough
I think sleep is very important.
Yeah.
7 hours, like how the army taught
Yeah.
us, is actually very
Useful.
useful because it gives you the right amount of rest
Correct.
and not waste your day.
Correct.
Yeah. Anything less, not enough. Anything more, headache,
That's true.
migraine, tension, stress,
So when you wake up in the morning,
feeling like P. Diddy.
okay, no. But do a mental checklist for yourself. Have you had 7 hours of uninterrupted rest?
Then take your temperature.
Take your
make sure your
temperature.
body's okay.
Yes.
Drink your 500 ml
A
of water.
full drink up.
And then head to the gym.
Head to the
After
gym.
that, come back, shower.
And-
Shower already, eat. Eat
And then-
already, brush your teeth.
And then, what?
And then put some perfume on, put some clothes on, go out.
Yes. Before you go up,
Take a
a full
nap.
drink up again.
Hey, again.
Yeah, you need proper hydration. Okay?
That's true.
Yeah. If
So
you got no
hydrate,
time to
eat
go to
well.
the gym,
How?
5BX.
No, I don't like 5BX to be honest. But yeah. Anyways, that concludes our episode of stress and how to cope and how we cope.
Yes.
Share on how you cope
Yeah.
on your stress and what stresses you out
Coping
in the comment
mechanism
sections
lah.
below.
Yeah. Don't say drugs, I swear to God, man.
Yes, no drugs.
Yeah. Yes, no drugs.
Anyways, till next week,
Till next week, boys.
we'll catch you on the flip side. But Zach,
Yes.
what did the wise man say?
A wise man once said, do not put yourself in a situation where the people who disrespect you continue disrespecting you. That's all I got.
Cool beans.
Cool beans.
Till next week.
Till next week.
Ciao.
Ciao.